Hello everyone and welcome back to Turkish Star Files. I hope your day is shining, because today we need all the light we can get to navigate a story that has kept the fandom talking for months. You saw the title, you felt the tremor across timelines, and yes, it's finally time. We're diving into Barış Baktaş's long-awaited words about those whispers that circled, exploded, and refused to die, the rumor that there was cheating in his relationship with Yağmur Yüksel. Breathe in, settle down, and let's unpack it together, with the warmth and honesty that our little corner of the internet always tries to bring. Before we begin, if you're new or you just love being the first to know, hit subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a moment here on Turkish Star Files. Now, let's get into the heart of it. You know how it began. A set lit by dramatic lights, a story pulsing with fate and family, and two leads who met in the fire of fiction and made it flicker in real life. When Barış Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel stepped into the world of Kensesekleri, known to many fans around the globe as Blood Flowers, something electric happened. It wasn't just performance, it was timing, ease, and that breath between lines where two people understand the same secret. Audiences saw it instantly. The silent glances, the playful improvisations, the way tension softened into tenderness and back again. It wasn't long before the lines between characters and reality blurred in the eyes of viewers, and the ship of Barış and Yağmur sailed with full winds. We all remember the early months, those behind-the-scenes clips that spread like wildfire, gentle jokes and interviews, a look that lingered a beat too long. Social media caught it, held it, and adored it. Edits with slow songs. Fan art. Captions that felt like letters. Whether their romance blossomed quietly or loudly doesn't matter now. What matters is that fans felt the heartbeat of something true, and the industry watched an on-screen pair become a phenomenon that seemed to promise more. But fame moves fast, and it doesn't always move kindly. Work got bigger. Schedules tightened to the hour. Sets changed cities. The glare grew intense. Suddenly, every gesture was a headline. A day of silence became a conspiracy. A shared laugh became a prophecy. And then, like a small spark that finds dry brush, rumors flared. The whisper turned into a question: did something break? Did someone betray? Those words have a way of spreading without evidence, without mercy, without context, and they landed heavily on two people who had given so much of themselves to the story and to each other. What followed you all know too well. There were claims, counters, and a million theories. Anonymous posts insisted there were messages. Someone's friend's cousin claimed to know everything. People read meaning in the angles of photographs and the distance of seats at an event. Through it all, both Barış and Yağmur kept their private lives quietly guarded, especially as their professional commitments multiplied. And as that silence stretched, it created a space that rumors rushed to fill. Today, that space narrows. Because Barış Baktaş has finally addressed it. Not with ambiguity. Not with coy hints. With clarity. In his recent words, straightforward and steady, he made it plain, there was never any cheating. No secret doorways, no double stories, no betrayal behind a smile. He did not dress it up or lean on excuses. He said what he needed to say, and his voice, calm and steady, cut through months of noise. Let that sink in. When someone at the center of the storm speaks this clearly, it changes the weather. It doesn't erase the past, but it frees it from the shadows that never belonged there in the first place. By saying there was no infidelity, Barış didn't just defend himself, he protected the space he shared with Yağmur. He honored what was real between them by refusing to let it be rewritten by a rumor's sharp pen. He acknowledged that love existed, that care existed, and that endings can arrive not from treachery, but from the weight of life's countless forces. Work that never ends, eyes that never look away, the pressure of being a symbol when you are still only human. And what about Yağmur? Throughout this, she has remained the consummate professional, luminous on screen, disciplined off it, graceful even under the glare. Any rumor of betrayal stains both people, and too often, it stains women first and worst. But with Barış's clear denial, a door opens for fans to step back and remember what mattered most: the artistry, the commitment, and the care. The two of them created the kind of chemistry you cannot fake, and they did it while carrying expectations most of us could never shoulder. To imagine they would diminish that with deception always felt like a story written for clicks, not truth. Let's talk about why these rumors took hold. Fame magnifies. On a set like Kinsasekleri, every pause after cut can become evidence, every untagged photo a clue. When two stars go quiet to protect themselves, that quiet can sound like guilt to those who want the most dramatic version of events. But we forget that silence can be self-preservation, the gentlest boundary someone can draw in a world that insists on climbing fences. The simplest explanation often holds. Two people who cared decided to walk different paths because those paths weren't lining up anymore, because the roads of ambition and privacy and timing can diverge without anyone committing a crime of the heart. Listen to the tone under Barış's words. It's not a performance, it's a line in the sand. It says, respect what was true. Stop giving oxygen to what never was. It does not burn bridges. It does not point fingers. It does something rarer: it protects two people at once. In a landscape that thrives on blame, that protection is a kind of love too, the sort that lives even after romance goes quiet. For fans who shipped Baron and Dylan on screen and saw flickers of them in Barış and Yağmur off screen, this is a moment of release. It's a breath you didn't know you were holding. It is permission to stop trying to decode an ending that doesn't need a villain. It is a reminder that the magic of blood flowers. The aching glances, the stubborn tenderness, the fierce loyalty, was crafted with care and skill and incredible chemistry. That gift is intact. Those scenes don't dim because two actors chose privacy over spectacle. Let's be honest about how hard this business can be on the heart. Sets run long. Sleep runs short. Days are measured in pages. The world watches even when you're trying to be small. And while some relationships thrive in that heat, others need cooler air. If their paths parted because of pace, pressure, or priorities, that is not a failure, it is a human outcome. And it is, frankly, a brave one if the alternative was to stay in a story that no longer fit. Barış's decision to speak now is not only about correction, it's about closure. It is a gentle closing of a door that never needed to slam. It lets the past settle into what it was. A meeting of two talents who created a storm of feeling on screen and, for a time, shared something tender beyond the lights. That story deserves a respectful frame, not a tabloid border. And with this clarity, that frame comes into focus. It also invites us to examine our own role as fans and followers. How quickly do we prefer the story with teeth? How easily do we accept a screenshot over a statement? If we claim to love these artists, do we not owe them the same grace we want for ourselves? The right to be complicated, to be private, to end something without being accused of a sin that leaves bruises on reputations and hearts alike? This is our chance to practice that grace, to share the truth as it was given, and to stop recycling the rumor for sport. As for what comes next, both are soaring. Barış, with his unflinching focus, is the sort who turns hurt into momentum, polishing his craft until the work silences the noise. Yağmur, with her poise and fire, keeps redefining strength in every frame. They are not half without each other, they are whole, separate, and shining. Their collaboration gave us something unforgettable, and their futures promise more of that electricity in different constellations. To the ones who stayed kind through the chaos, your patience is justified today. To the ones who fueled the rumor mill, maybe this is the day to retire a few memes and let the truth do what it does when we let it breathe. And to Barış and Yağmur, thank you for the work, for the courage, and for the reminder that honesty, even when delayed, lands with its own kind of thunder. There's a particular beauty in the way Barış framed it. He did not say, forget. He said, in essence, remember correctly. Remember the laughter on set. Remember the early mornings and the late nights that built something millions held dear. Remember how art happens when trust is in the room. Remember that endings, when told without malice, are not failures but completions. He's asking us to honor the reality: there was love, there was effort, there were limits, and there was never a betrayal. And what of the chapters that follow? Perhaps we'll see them share a stage again one day, not as a couple in life, but as artists who know each other's rhythms and can set a scene on fire with a glance. Perhaps they'll surprise us with new partners on screen, sparking fresh storms. Perhaps they'll keep their personal lives so close that we learn, finally, to stop knocking. Whatever shape the future takes, we have today's clarity to keep us from dragging old falsehoods into new rooms. So let this be the reset. Let this be the moment when we pivot from suspicion to celebration. Celebrate the craft, the discipline, the resilience. Celebrate that two people walked through a blaze of attention and came out still themselves. And yes, celebrate that we, as a community, can hold complexity, can mourn an ending, honor a truth, and keep cheering for both without turning one into the villain of a story that never needed one. If you've been holding on to anger about those rumors, let it go. If you've been arguing in comment sections, set your keyboard down tonight. If you've been waiting for a sign that kindness is not naivete, here it is: clarity arrived, steady and unmistakable. There was no infidelity, he said. Sometimes the simplest sentence is the one that heals. Thank you for sitting with us in this. Thank you for choosing nuance in a world that sells noise. And thank you for protecting the parts of this story that still feel tender for many. That's what we do here at Turkish Star Files: we bring light, we bring warmth, and we try to keep the humanity intact even when the headlines don't. Now, as we close, I want to hear from you. How do Barış's words land with you? Does it change how you remember those months of whispers? Does it make you want to revisit your favorite scenes from Blood Flowers and watch them with a heart a little lighter? Drop your thoughts below, tell us what you're holding on to, and tell us what you're finally ready to let go of. And if you found comfort or clarity in today's video, give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear the truth spoken plainly, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the stories that matter. Until next time, this is Turkish Star Files signing off with gratitude, respect, and a promise. We'll keep following the art, we'll keep listening for the truth beneath the noise, and we'll keep celebrating Barış Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel, not as characters in a rumor, but as artists who continue to make us feel. Take care, be kind, and keep your hearts open for the next chapter.